And tonight, as it looks the entire war may be over, we'll return in a moment with Jane Pauley, talks with Tom Aspell in Baghdad.
Threats and defiance gave way to fear and confusion. 13 days of escalating concessions have been too little, too late to stave off a humiliating defeat. Earlier today, I spoke with NBC's Tom Aspell in Baghdad, whose report was cleared by Iraqi military censors.
Jane, the Iraqis think they've done enough. They've pulled their troops back from Kuwait, but they can't understand why there's still no ceasefire. Baghdad didn't have to wait for news to filter back from the West that their newest concessions weren't enough. The Allied response came direct from above, and it came down hard. No more high-tech missiles are needed to hit this city now. Tonight's raid was from low-flying airplanes, weaving through the ground fire, bombing a confused and crippled capital. Air power. It put out Baghdad's lights right at the beginning of the war, and the city hasn't worked since. The main electricity plant and 10 other substations are in ruins now. The Iraqis estimate it'll take them 12 months of solid work to get them back online again. There isn't enough electricity to work the sewage system. There are whispers of cholera. Now that their troops have pulled out of Kuwait, many Iraqis are confused about why they are still being attacked.
It's not a matter of liberating Kuwait. It's a matter of breaking the Iraqi people.
The Iraqis feel abandoned now. Their cries for help from the Arab states are being ignored. Their diplomatic approaches to the West via the Soviet Union are being rebuffed. Iraq is alone. If the Allied intention is to destroy this country, it's going according to plan. There's a state of siege here in the capital, and tonight's fierce air raid is just going to reinforce that feeling. Jane?
Tom, what do the Iraqis know about what's taken place on the battlefield?
I think they know that something terrible is happening down there. And the reports that they're getting from Western reporters like ourselves that there's now a bottleneck and a killing ground down there in southern Iraq are indeed hitting some of them here very hard indeed.
Tom, how would you characterize the mood in Baghdad?
I would say there's real fear in the air here now, Jane. Fear for the future. What's going to happen to this country? Is it going to be dismembered? I have to add at the same time, there's no feelings of remorse from anybody I've talked to about what has happened in Kuwait, but still they're at a loss to understand how much they're being punished and indeed why they seem to be humiliated.
Well, thank you, Tom. Tom Aspell in Baghdad.
Everywhere they advanced, every place they looked, every Iraqi had retreated. Ahead of the advancing 1st Marine Division was an oil field workers' camp which had been converted into an Iraqi command post. But the commanders were gone, and so were their soldiers. When advancing Marine columns have finally caught up to the retreating enemy, many of the Iraqi units have surrendered. A special squad assigned to the 1st Marine Division was sent to intercept yet another Iraqi tank unit, which was seen waving white flags. Its job is to coax them towards American lines.
This unit of men is trying to talk the Iraqis into surrendering. There are a group of men, Iraqis to the right carrying white flags. Over there, a large number of Iraqi tanks. This unit believes they're trying to surrender. They're trying to talk them into it right now.
Through a loudspeaker, Marines ordered the Iraqi troops to turn their tank turrets away, put down their weapons, and surrender. They were promised good treatment. Only 5 Iraqis surrendered initially. They had to pass through their own minefields before they reached Marine positions. The prisoners appeared frightened until they realized that they would not be harmed.
Tell them not to worry, they're going to be all right.
One by one, they were searched for weapons. One prisoner who complained of a lame knee was given medical treatment. Soon, dozens of others walked west towards a line of American tanks and gave up. Just to the east, 58 more surrendered. To get here, they had to dodge mortars, which were fired at them by their own army. A white flag used by the Iraqis was kept as a souvenir by one Marine unit. They thought they would be fighting their enemy, but the enemy had lost its fight. Mike Betcher, NBC News, with the 1st Marine Division in Kuwait.